so nice to see you again. I'm Noreen, owner of Call Clutter Fairy Home Organizing, and this is my YouTube channel, The Crafty Organizer. I found something on the side of the road. My kids are always yelling, "No, Mom," when I pass something because I can't even help it. If you've ever seen that bumper sticker that says, "I break for roadside trash," oh my gosh, that's me. I can't help it. I love seeing something, and even if I don't keep it, I get a thrill out of upcycling things and giving it away or passing it on to someone else. But oftentimes I'll upcycle something and I love it. One of these days I'm going to take you on a tour through everything in my house because I don't know, I'd say 80% of the things that I have were things that were being thrown away, things that I got very inexpensively at a yard sale, or things that have been passed down to me. I do not have a lot of new things, and I actually love that. It gives me a lot of joy and pride to walk around saying, "Oh, I made this, and I upcycled this, and I switched this around." So today is something that I found on the side of the road, and I didn't take a picture when I saw it because it was rough when I saw it, and I had to clean it off before I could put it in my car. And I didn't want the owners to feel embarrassed if they saw me out there cleaning and taking pictures of something first. So I just brushed it off really quick, threw it in a bag, and pitched it in my car. So I wish I had taken it before, but I didn't really do much to it other than really clean it off. It had a lot of dust. It had a lot of spiders in it, and I'm so afraid of spiders. But it was a rustic piece, and I left it pretty much as is. And it's intended as a fruit basket, a 3-tiered fruit basket, but there was no way that was what I was going to use it for. I love gardening. I love making new plants and propagating those that I have. So that's exactly what I did with this. So the only thing I purchased were these straw baskets, and these are for hanging baskets. And I got these at the dollar store. And I'm going to throw them in a little bucket of water so they can soak for a minute. This allows them to be more workable, if not so stiff, and I can stretch them out a little bit. So I'm getting my potting soil, and I just use regular cheap potting soil and all-purpose sand. I have found that succulents do better in a sandy soil. Too much straight soil and they dry out quickly. So I'm going to take these straw baskets, and the great thing about these is you can stretch them. So these little baskets that are on this fruit stand are bigger at the bottom, and then they graduate to a smaller space. So I'm allowing the pliability of those, now that they're softer, to adhere to the shape of the basket. So even though they're round, you won't be able to tell when I'm all done. I'm pouring out about half the water. This way I still have a little to get my soil damp, and I'm going to just pour in. I only have a little bit of sand left, so I'm guessing this is about 4 cups if you had to measure it out. I would have liked a little more sand in there, but I ran out. And then I'm just going to pour in some of my potting soil. And with my little trowel, I'm just going to mix it up. And again, the water helps kind of make it like a thick cement. Now, I like putting fillers in my baskets. I happen to have these little logs that were left over from a tree that was being cut down, because the succulents don't need a lot of root space. So to waste all of that soil and make it really heavy, it's just a waste to me. So I always put something to take up the extra. And now I'm just going to trowel this soil right into those baskets. And I'm just going in with this mixture enough to cover the base of what I'm filling my baskets up with. You can see the little wood that I had in there is just barely beneath this. So this is my nice base, and it's making the straw baskets really conform to the shape of the hanging metal part. And once all of my dirt is gone and filled in here, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the balance of the basket with the loose topsoil. And this is more so it looks pretty, and I can easily just set the succulents in place. So now I'm just going to get my trowel again and put the loose soil right on top of the sand mixture. And I do usually fill almost to the top. Sometimes I'll go a little bit lower if I know the succulent that I'm planting needs more space for water. But that's the thing I love about the succulents that I've been collecting, is they don't need a lot of water. So now I'm gonna go shopping for mine. And you guys, almost all of the plants you see here were starters that I found going on walks. I would see a new plant and I would ask a neighbor, hey, can I take a snippet of this? And then as my plant gets bigger, I'll snap them off and start a new plant. You will not believe how green and lush these look and how easy they are to propagate. So this one has the cutest little shape on its leaves, and it hangs down and dangles, and I just think it's beautiful. I am not good with the scientific names, so if you're into succulents, leave me a comment below and let me know what some of these are called. I think this one is a desert rose, I think. But I'll just find some towards the back, and you literally just snap the stem, and you guys, that's it. You could stick it right into the soil. I cannot tell you how easy it is to propagate succulents. All you have to do is find some that you like and get them started. So I'm going to walk around my garden here, and this gives me a chance to kind of prune those that are getting a little bit too big. I wish I could figure out a way to propagate my jasmine because I am in love with it and it's fully blooming and beautiful right now. Spider plants are another one that propagate. These little babies that are coming off, you just snap those off, set it in some soil, wet soil, and a whole new plant will pop out. This is one of my favorite succulents because, again, it just looks so lush, but it's a cactus. This was a fire pit someone was throwing away, and it was so patinaed and looked so pretty, and it had the stand. So I filled this in as another little succulent garden. So I'm just going to go through. Here's an example of a neighbor who had this plant, and I asked if I could take one. So it's too new for me to take anything off of yet, but look at this one. That was one of the first ones that I started, and it's got all kinds of little babies and stems coming from it. So I'm going to give it a little bit more time. But these thicker plants that have a lot more branches on it, those are the ones I'm just going to snap a couple from. So I found this branch. I really like it. I'm going to kind of find my way down to the base of it and snap it off. Here's one more. I'm just going to go in, find a base that I like, and just snap it off. Ready? Here I go. I'm gonna take it, snap it, and that's it. Now, of course, you could go in with cutters if you like. I'm usually just I like my hands in the dirt, so I'll go through and just snap them as I see fit, mostly to prune, but I always keep them in another little spot where they can start again. And if I want to make a gift for someone, or I feel like that little corner needs a new plant, I've got some starting. So here's the succulents I've chosen by trimming, and I'm just going to start arranging them in a way that looks pretty to me. There is no right or wrong with this. It's really just what speaks to you, which is what's so much fun about doing succulent gardens. I do peel off anything that's too close to the base. I try and have about an inch of the stem when I stick it into the dirt. And the amazing thing is any leaf you take off, if you leave it in the dirt just resting on top, it will sprout and make a new plant. Succulents are incredible. I'm just picking off the very bottom ones, and I'm going to keep those, and then I'm just placing it inside the dirt. It is literally that easy. And these little types of succulent gardens make such amazing gifts. You can find any pretty container. Right now I've got some of the old spring cake pans that were rusty and someone was getting rid of. I was on top of it. I'm going to whitewash them with paint lightly and make new little succulent gardens, and they make such great gifts. So I'm just arranging these in a way that looks pretty to me. If this is something you've done before, please leave me a comment. I'd love to know if there's a technique that I should be changing. I am just in awe of how easy this is. I had heard other people saying it was super easy, but truly, it's incredible. So here are the 3 tiers all finished. In about 3 months, it'll be pretty full, and that's probably when I'll start trimming it back. But I'll wait and see. I really like that overgrown hanging down look. So I'll keep you posted on how this one goes. I knew as soon as I saw this on the side of the road that it would be the perfect cactus stand. Now here's a peek at my other happy place, the first being my craft, but this is right outside of the garage, right outside of my office area, and I love it. This is my sanctuary. It's where I have my coffee in the morning. It's where I sit in the afternoon and just let the birds sing. I read here. It's just my favorite place. And what's funny is when I moved in here, this was the home for the trash cans. That little outlet was for the where all the trash cans were stored, and I looked at it going, no way. Almost everything you see in that little cove are items that I have found almost for free. That ladder that's in the corner, somebody was discarding. The chairs were all things that people had on the side of the street for trash day, and I happily took them. The thing that unifies them is I'll buy new cushions. Here's the old cactus garden that I did. This was on January 8th, I think I made this. And look how much it's grown already just in the 3 months. These window panes were going away in the trash, so this is just my happy place. And I go out and I tinker with the plants all of the time. If I have people over, this is my little outdoor living room that we hang out at. And I have a umbrella that goes at an angle. And so the stand is off to the side, and instead of it being a tripping hazard, I decided to build it up with some plants. And then of course, here's the filming area. So when my door is open, I still get to look out and see this really pretty little area, and it just makes me so happy because basically everything in front of the garage going straight out is cement. No planters, no green, all cement and fence. So this is happier. I hope you liked today's video. I had so much fun making this, and when I did the pendant upcycle, a lot of you made comments about, oh, I wish you had shown us how you planted the succulents. So I wanted to be sure to cover how I get them, how you stick them in, and you guys, truly, there isn't anything easier than starting a succulent garden. So take a walk, ask some neighbors. I always encourage you to ask before you break them off. If it does belong in somebody's yard, some people are really particular about that. So I've knocked on doors before and said, do you mind if I break a snippet off of their cactus? And most people look at me like I'm crazy, but other people laugh and go, oh my gosh, yes, do you want to see some others? And they've given me little snippets of plants that I didn't even know existed. So it's been a fun way to grow my garden. And there's certain ones that I love. I love the more lush looking ones. The cactus that have the spikies or the sharps, I don't necessarily like so much, but there are thousands of varieties. I'm sure you'll find one that you like as well. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I will see you in 2 days. Bye.